What's going on, gang? Alex here. This is part 2 of the 10 C's of survival. Last time we went by the dollar store and we acquired all the gear that we need, and it's still here in my pack as before. Now we're gonna go out to my dad's property and we're gonna test the gear, and we're gonna see if we can complete our 4 tasks. Right, our 4 tasks where we're gonna build a shelter, we're gonna build a fire, we're gonna try and collect some water and make it so we can drink it or make it potable, and then we're going to, what was the last one? Oh yeah, we're gonna cook some food. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about that. May have to forage or hunt for something, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and head out there, and I guess we'll pick back up when I'm at my dad's place. All right, here we are. We're out at my dad's property right now. So I'm gonna let you see what it looks like. Yeah. That's the house there, and that's where we're going. It's out back. So it's 5 acres, and it's got some wooded, some still dense woods. A lot of it's been cleared off, but still it should serve our purposes. Much rather do it out here than out in the field, and just in case something happens, I could just come to the house, or get my dad to come bail me out. But I figure that's a lot safer for learning than actually go out into the field and experimenting. So that's going to be a fun video when that finally happens. But anyway, for now we're gonna go out in the back, we're gonna take a look at our gear, we're gonna figure out where we're gonna shoot this thing. All right, let's go. Mom had a garden, she was still alive, so it's changed a little bit since she went made her ascension. I mean, it's my sister's dance studio back there, and memories. Sometimes I miss it out here. Don't know what you have till it's gone. Now I moved into a townhome, getting all the getting all the nature kind of trained out of me. So it did rain, everything's wet, so it should make it a little bit more challenging. Should be fun though. All right, got to figure out where exactly I want to start. Well, I guess out here is just as good a place as any. When I was living here, this is where I used to come and practice karate. Come out to the back, and there's my makiwara right there. There's my other makiwara right there. This was a raised platform, keep us off the deck. But that's been taken up. So there's a sand pit right there. I used to, spar grappling and stuff. That's been moved over there, and it's overgrown. One of these days I'm gonna pull all those weeds up and get it back up and running. But seeing as how I'm actually not, staying out here or doing an overnight or anything like that, I'm gonna just pick some different spots around just to, I guess, portray some of the skills, or get our 4 tasks taken care of. So when you're picking your camp, I guess, well, I can't speak for it because I learned it from somebody. So who was that? I've been watching like hella Corporal's Corner, right? Love that guy. He's hilarious. But he's got like the 4 W's for picking a camp, and it's like the wind, and the wind is blowing, and I'm real cool with that because I'm in Texas, and it's like 90 outside, and the humidity is really, really high, so I need the breeze, so that's cool. And then water, the only water we have is probably 200 yards in that direction, and it's probably going to be in a bayou. But you know, I don't want to trek way back there to do any of this crap. But we do have a scummy pool, and there's some water right there. And I believe, what is that? I think there's a bag of charcoal or something like that in it. So having said that, we might have to trek 200 yards to the bayou because that's disgusting. I'm pretty sure my dad put oil in that to keep mosquitoes from thriving in it. So what else? Weather's nice. It's sunny. It already rained, like I mentioned before, so everything is wet, but the sun is out and it's beautiful. What else? Oh, Widowmakers. Check this out. So this would be a no-go. This would be no good. That's what Corporal was saying. This is a no-go, right? That is a big tree limb. I could come down at some point. This one here, that may come down. I don't know. That's been there for like 10 years, just like that. So I even hung my makiwara off of it. But I think I could find maybe these trees here. Put a shelter in that little mess of trees right there. Or maybe even get 2 sticks and like stake them into the deck, and then you know, build on that. I don't know. I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. So let's go check out our gear, and then we'll get started. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, look at that inventory. It's an arsenal. So I figured I'd leave all these things in the packages, because these batteries, paper package. This flashlight here, paper package. These bags, paper package. Bic lighter and this magnetic clip, all paper packages. This is a paper package. You know what I'm thinking? That's right. Oh, this also paper, right? I'm thinking I could probably burn some of that, so that'd be good to go, right? And I do have like camera equipment and some things with me, and if, you know, I got the things that I carry in my pockets all the time. But in the theme of the exercise, I'm not going to use any of that. So I got a much better knife, a second much better knife, little multi-tool, some chapstick, car keys. I guess I could use my pocket lint. I mean, if you're wearing pants, you're gonna have pocket lint, I guess. But let's just say, for instance, you dropped off in the field with nothing but this gear, and you're naked for some reason. That's why I'm glad instead of bandanas I got the shirt. Yeah. So let's recap. We got the 10C's, right? We have our candle, or excuse me, no, this would be a candle. We have our combustion source. We have our cordage. We have our 100% cotton. That's going to be the bandanas. So we got our cotton. We have our cutting tool, right? We have our, what is that? The such and such needles. What needles start with a C? I don't know. Moving on. This is our candle, okay? The magnetic clip, that coupled with some of the magnets. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be our compass. And with this wind, that might actually be challenging, really challenging. But I'm going to figure it out, all right? We got our cargo tape, and then, of course, the bags for our cover. And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, container. It's the biggest thing. Well, one of the biggest things there. Forgot about the container. Yeah, got the container. So, like I said, the batteries don't count. And these bags, they gave me all. So we're going to consider that not the batteries. We're going to consider this bag my pack. So this is all the gear we're going to use. Okay. And what we're going to accomplish today, like I said, shelter, fire, food, water. That's it. Okay. Also, I have one other thing. I found this in my car on the way out. So, and I thought I'd bring it with me. Now, like I said, I've been watching a lot of Corporal's Corner. So I'm armed with the knowledge and skills and abilities of maybe 30 videos. I think 30 videos. We'll go with 30 videos. Okay. But I'm also armed with, bam, my Boy Scout handbook. I found it. Well, not that you knew that I was looking for it, but I was looking for it, and here it is. So I'm going to use my Boy Scout handbook for some of the information, right? Especially knowledge of knots. I have a knowledge of knots, or basic knowledge of some basic knots, but this will really be a big asset. This was in my car. So if I had nothing but this gear and I was in my car, well, I technically have a whole bunch of other gear too. But the book was in there, so I'd have the book. And I'd have my e-reader, which has a bunch of stuff. Getting off topic, all right? But if you haven't seen, I guess, one of these handbooks, or this, you know, one of the older ones, I guess this was back when I was like 10 years old, man. Look at some of this artwork. Some of these pictures are just beautiful. I found this the other day, and it was in great condition. Simply beautiful. There's all the Bobby Hutchison, Jim Hutchison. That was them signing off. You know, where I got my Scout First Class there. Look at that. Some of this stuff is cool. Tells you how to make stoves, cook in the field. Talks about land nav and concepts of, what is that? I remember having to draw one of these. You know, on the hand too. A contour map. So, contour map. It's got some things about wildlife, swimming. Yep, I remember being able to do sign language. I've forgotten it. First aid. Oh yeah, all kinds of good stuff. You know what? I'm gonna have to do in the future. I'm gonna have to do a video on some lessons from the Boy Scout handbook. I mean, aside from the survival stuff, maybe some of the survival stuff. Maybe I'll pick a chapter. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Well, let's what are we gonna do now? Well, we got to figure out what we want to start on, right? So how do we figure that out? Well, I've read in a survival situation, okay, that there's something called the rule of 3. So you can survive 3 minutes without air, approximately. These are all approximations, the way I understand it. You can survive 3 minutes without air. So, well, I can breathe, so I ain't got to worry about that. There's enough air here. So, I'm not in danger, so I'm going to stay breathing. Okay? I can survive 3 hours without shelter, which means, you know, sheltering from the elements. If it's too hot, you risk heat stroke, hyperthermia, right? So you risk having a heat injury. So everything from heat exhaustion, heat stroke, or simple dehydration. Okay, I've been dehydrated a number of times playing ball in Texas heat and having to run wind sprints. I've been dehydrated a few times, and it sucks. You know, it's hard to think straight, and your whole world is just terrible. You can survive about 3 days without water, give or take, depending on what you're doing, environmental conditions being considered, and about 3 weeks without food, right? So what that does is it gives you an idea, or it's supposed to give us an idea of what we need to do first, right? So if we were in a survival situation, surviving 3 minutes without oxygen, we need to stay breathing, so we need to get ourselves out of danger. We're out of danger, so that doesn't need to really be addressed. We need to 3 hours and you know, without shelter. So the very first thing we need to do is create a shelter. All right, so we're gonna have to go somewhere and build a shelter, right? 3 days without water, so we're gonna need to create some potable water. Now I can go collect water, that shouldn't be too hard, but drinking it, just it being out here, especially from that pit, I'm not getting it from that pit. But if I were to drink it from that pit, I'm pretty sure it would kill me, and that would be terrible. So not drinking it from the pit. But so that means I'm gonna have to strain it, and then I'm gonna have to boil it. So in order to do that, boil kill everything in it, so I can actually drink it. That means I'm gonna have to create a fire. Okay, and the final thing, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna eat. So let's go ahead and pick our location and get our materials, and then we will build our shelter. Okay, now here's a very valuable lesson and something I think I should have thought about before I came out here. I mean, it hasn't affected me because I just started playing with the stuff, but before you got into the field, you probably want to test your gear to make sure it works. I mean, I got my flashlight works, right? So that's pretty cool. Those batteries are good. And then, right, so lighter works. And look at this knife. That knife is thin, boy. Hey, but it's got somewhat of an edge on it, so we're gonna do what we can with what we got. I do like the sheath, I will say that. All right, I think I found a place for the shelter. We're looking up. I don't see any widowmakers. Okay, nice big tree here, nice big tree there, and it's right next to a busted up picnic table. So I'd like to picnic so we can use that. No, I'm not gonna use a picnic table, that's a joke. But the ground here is relatively flat. I don't see any, well, there's a spider there, but I don't see any real serious creepy crawlies here. The only thing I'm worried about are ants. Ants love me. Love to get in ants. This looks like an ant bed. Let's see. Yep, that's an ant bed. So now, technically this would not be a good place, but we're gonna use it because over here is the clearest I could find, and the trees are, in my opinion, in my expert opinion, my 30 plus videos of Corporal's Corner and Boy Scout Manual expert opinion, the trees are far, close enough that I won't use a ridiculous amount of cordage, and far enough away that it's not just going to be, all bunched up. I guess I could use these two trees here, but they're pretty far apart, considering. I mean, ground's much clearer over there, and I'm pretty sure there's no ant bed. But I'm not going to sleep in it. I just want to build it, right? Just to say I did it. So this is the plan, okay? And no plan ever survives first contact with the enemy. Or what is that? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right? But you got to have a starting point. Otherwise, you'll just not know where to go. But you got to start somewhere. You can, adjust up or down from that. So I'm going to take my cordage. I'm going to anchor it to this tree. I'm going to loop it around this tree with the, I guess, what is that? The trucker's hitch. Okay. And then I'm going to take 2 of the trash bags, open them up, right? Cut them along the sides, duct tape those together, right? So it's going to have a seam. I guess I can fold them over one another. Duct tape the seam, and then that'll essentially be my tarp, right? Because it just needs to keep the rain out. Make like a basic lean-to. Anchor it to the ground. Anchor it to the ground over there, or over here, depending. Maybe over here, but anchor it to the deck, and then affix it to the ridge line. We'll call it the ridge line, and then we should be in business. All right, trash bags, cordage, our handy dandy knife. Duct tape. First I gotta clear out this area a little bit. That one may have taken me out. It's been terrible. I could use that later. You know what? This is just split. That is green. It's good and bendy. Slip knot, or you know what, make a like a lasso. Right, so tie an overhand knot, tie another overhand knot, and loop the first overhand knot through the second one, and pull it tight. Easier in theory. There we go. Now I got a loop, right? Loop at the end, loop the other end through, and then just pull it tight, and it's not going to cinch down. See these vines on this tree? I'm not 100% certain that that's not poison ivy. I'm slightly poison ivy resistant, but I don't want to touch it. Great, I'm tying knots and I'm not even trying. That for something. I don't know what though. Found something out about this line that's very interesting. Look at this. It stretches. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's definitely a thing. Oh well. Here's what it is. Told you, tying knots, not even trying. Is that level? Does that look level to you? Doesn't look level to me. There's a figure eight. Told you. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, and then tie my hitch. And we'll have a ridge line. Be good to go. Check it out. That's like a guitar string. That's level-ish, right? And even if it's not level, I feel like it's going down in that direction. If rain hits it, it's going to go in that direction, right? It's kind of like a gable on a roof, right? That's taut. probably walk that. All right, now we just gotta get the get the trash bags opened up and taped together, and we'll be good to go. Been watching a lot of Corporal's Corner, like Good to Go. I mean, it's stuck in my head. Stuck in my head. I mean, I thought I let it go since I got out, but nope. Put it back in there. All right, now just opened up the bags, and I gotta tell you, like, they definitely feel dollar store quality. These things are really thin, man. So might not be able to cut them open, but what I can do is just leave them closed, and maybe double them up, or leave them doubled up, and then just tape them side by side like that. I won't have as much coverage, but it is what it is. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried to duct tape trash bags, thin ones, mind you, light ones, together in wind? This is what it looks like. It doesn't stop doing that. And seeing how narrow this thing is, I'm probably gonna have to tape 3 of them together. So it's a good learning experience. It's a test of my patience. And actually I'm having a pretty good time. I mean, it might be a little frustrating, but I can hear the roosters. I can hear the wind blowing. I can hear the birds chirping, and I can hear some bugs. I can kind of hear the traffic on the street, kinda, but almost nothing else. Almost nothing else. This is a nice change from television or computer or things I got to deal with at work. Totally worth it. I believe it was the great Oswald Cobblepot on Batman Returns that said all you need is a little bit of patience and a lot of tape. And I will say, I'm not disappointed in this in the dollar store duct tape. It actually performed pretty well. It holds on really, really tight. Really, really tight, especially to a cheap plastic bag. I mean, it rips the plastic bag if you get it stuck somewhere it doesn't need to be, or you just end up leaving a piece of it in the middle. But it worked great. So now I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to fix it to this line, and we're going to anchor it in the back, and we're in business. All right, let me show you what we got. Looks pretty good, huh? Yeah, it needs work, but hey, it's up there. This is the part where I got the tape stuck. Sue me. I guess my only options at that point were to rip a giant hole that I'd have to fix, or just leave it there. It's all a matter of perspective. In my mind, these bags are thin, flimsy, but this one spot right here, reinforced. So that's turning a frown upside down. So let's go ahead and anchor the backside, and then that'll be it. Be done. All it needs to do is, it's not going to keep the wind away. It's basically a kite right now. But rain comes down, rain catches that thing, I sit under it and stay dry. Doesn't get me out of the heat, but how do you get out of the, well, actually I am out of the heat. I'm underneath the tree. That's as cool as it's going to get. There's a breeze blowing, so heat I don't have to worry about. Cold, it's Texas, I don't need to say anything else about that. It's Houston, Texas, so you know, not up like near the Panhandle, or has the elevation where we actually have cold or anything. No, it doesn't get cold here. It gets, I don't know, 70, maybe in the 60s. God forbid it dropped down to like the 50s or something, then you need like a parka. And I know people are gonna laugh at that, but hey, I was made for a tropical climate, so. But yeah, let's get this baby anchored. All right, here's the plan. I'm gonna take these 4 pieces of cordage. I've tied slip knots into the end of it. All right, now I'm gonna go to here to this pile of dead wood and see if I can break off some sticks and then use those as like poles, anchor them into the deck, take one of these slip knots, tie it over the end of the bag and just cinch it tight. Maybe put a clod of dirt or something like that in there just to give it, like a button to hold on to, and connect it here, 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 and here. That should be fine. Maybe 2 on this side, and I'll cut another one for the middle. So that's the plan. All right, shelter. Basically, this looks quite comfortable. This is where I want to come when I want to detox from tech. I feel very confident in this shelter. Get some more leaves around here, create a nice bedding. I don't know, maybe use that ant bed as a pillow. Ought to be pretty cool. Let me show you what I did on the back side though. All right. So I didn't use the what is that? The rocks like I said I was gonna do. It had the little flaps for tying up the bag, so all I did was just tie knots in that, tie slip knots in the cordage, and then just stake it all down. All right, shelter. So on to the next thing: procure water and get something to eat. But that'll be next time. Until then, what did I learn this time? This time I learned, what did I learn? The duct tape was good. Probably larger trash bags. Probably more sturdy trash bags. That's a given. Definitely those things. What else? Maybe set my line a little bit lower, right? Set my angle a little bit wider. It's a little too acute right now, so it's almost like a vertical windbreak, and I want something that's going to allow water to slide off. So maybe set it a little lower to the ground and give it a heavier angle. So right now my batteries are running out, and I think I'm way over the time limit for a video. So we will pick up next time with what's our next step? Procuring water and building a fire.